Component decorator. In this video, we are going to discuss about component decorator in detail, some of the important properties of the component, simple example program to understand all this. Component decorator is used to add some metadata, and this metadata is used by Angular framework to identify this component and instantiate when it is required. Generally, this component expects an object with some properties, and these properties are used by the Angular. Some of the important properties are selector. Selector is a simple string that can be used as a normal HTML element in HTML files. And this is used by Angular to identify this component and instantiate when it is used in HTML. Template URL specifies the URL of the template that belongs to this component. The template we can specify in .html file, and that URL of that HTML file can be specified here. Template property. Template property is used to write the inline template within the same component class. We can write HTML elements as a string within backtick characters within the component class itself. Anyone between template URL and template should be used. Or style URLs. CSS styles to the template we can specify in the separate .css file, and that URL we can specify here. If you want to set any inline .css styles, that we can specify by using the styles property. Another important one is encapsulation. This encapsulation policy for the template and CSS styles. We will discuss encapsulation in separate video. Kindly watch that video. Let's try to understand with simple example program about all these properties. Yeah, this is the program Angular application we have created in a previous video. Here, this app component and app module is automatically created by Angular CLI. We have created display component where it will display some text display works here, and we have used selector app display, and that we have used in app component. Okay, now let us try to understand how these properties are useful. Right here, this is the decorator we are discussing about. This is the object with some properties. Here, first one is selector. Selector is used to identify this component, and when it is used in some other HTML files, Angular identify this component and it will instantiate this component. Template URL. Template URL points to some HTML file. This is the HTML file where we are displaying some text. Style URLs, URL of styles.css files. This is the file we are pointing to here. Okay. Now we will try to understand all these properties in detail with some examples. Let me try to add some CSS styles to this component. This is the .css file where I'm adding some class. Okay, let me write some styles. Let me add some background color also. Let us add green. Okay, this is the class I have created. Let me use this class in HTML file. We have to write class attribute in display. Here we are adding some styles to the paragraph. Front color should be red and background color should be green. Okay, let us try to run this application and see that. Yeah, Styles have been applied. Display works, text is red and background color green. Okay. Now, if I want to add some inline styles to this component, that we can write within the styles property. Okay, if I want to add some inline style, same way, I'm trying to add some show class. Basically, what it will do, it will set the size of the font. Let me put 100 pixel. Yeah. Here we can identify the difference difficulty when we are using the styles. When we are using the style URLs in separate .css files, it was showing some intelligence. Suppose if I want to add, it will give some intelligence. But here in case of styles, inline styles, we don't have intelligence. That is the difficulty if you use the styles. Okay. Now I have added font size. I have saved it. Let me add same class to HTML. Yeah, font size has been changed. Like this, we can specify the inline styles within the component class. Okay, here these are the cascaded style sheets. Both styles will be applied on component. Okay, one more important thing is we have some global.css file where we can specify the styles here, and these styles can be applied across the application. Okay, now let us try to understand template URL. Okay, if template URL is used to specify the template HTML file URL of template. Okay, suppose if you want to use inline template, we can use another property, that is template. Okay, here we can write inline template. Suppose let me write some HTML element. Here also have the same difficulty. When you write HTML elements in HTML files, it was showing some intelligence. But if you write it in inline template, you don't have any intelligence. That is one difficulty. Okay, now I have added some h1 tag with some text test. Okay, let me save it. And if you see that, right, now the content which is there in .html file is not displaying. That means if you use template URL and template, only template inline style will be displayed in component. Okay, so either template URL or template should be used instead of using both. Okay, now h1 I have added, it was showing some text right now. If I'm trying to add one more tag, okay, if you see that, right, it was not allowing me to add multiple lines in case of template. If you want multiple lines, instead of using single quote, we should use backtick characters. Okay, let me see the output. Now we can see the output successfully. If you want to add the same classes, we can add it here only. Yeah, we can see the styles have been applied to inline templates. So either template URL or template should be used. If you want to use template, then you can you should remove template URL. Yeah. Well, here one more important property is there. that is encapsulation. We need to specify view encapsulation type. We have emulated, native, non, and shadow DOM. We will discuss about all these in separate video. Kindly watch that video. Thank you.